Pisces. Welcome into your next full-length reading here at the Third Flame Tarot. My name is Amber. Thanks so much for being here. I am so happy that you are. Now Pisces, we've got a bit to talk about astrologically speaking when it comes to your sign right now. The first thing is Saturn retrograde. Now Saturn went retrograde on June 29th in Pisces, and Saturn is the planet of diligence, determination, hard work, karma, and time. And Pisces rules over the 12th house, which is all about intuition, dreams, divination, and the deep subconscious. So putting those two together, it'll be an inwardly focused energy. We may be reevaluating our spiritual selves and recognizing where it's not matching up in our 3D life. And you might see a lot of people changing things in their life to match up to how they're feeling on the inside. But Saturn, being the planet of diligence and determination going retrograde, is going to also be a great time to put the big responsibilities on the back burner and take a break from things for a while. But that's not all going on in your sign, Pisces. We also have your planet, Neptune, going retrograde on July 2nd. Now, Neptune is sitting at 29 degrees, the last degree of Pisces. Neptune is the god of the ocean. It represents emotional sensitivity, creativity, compassion, art, and fantasy. But in its shadow side can represent disillusionment and confusion. So with it going retrograde, you might see yourself or others taking the rose-colored glasses off and seeing things how they really are. It'll be a great time to set more realistic expectations for your life and endeavors. But before we start pulling some cards, Pisces, I'd like to talk about my meditation today. So the first thing I see when I drop into meditation is a giant glass cube. And the cube is in a clearing in the middle of a forest. And inside this glass cube is water. So you are a water sign too, Pisces, so this felt very Pisces because not only was the glass cube filled with water, but there was a little orange fish swimming around in it. And the fish was swimming in circles and jumping out of the water, almost looking as if it was trying to find a way out. I started to feel a bit sad and disturbed at this, so I walked around the glass cube trying to find a way I could get the fish out, but the cube was sealed shut. And I remember thinking, maybe if I break the glass, I can get the fish out. But there was no water close by. If I broke the glass, all the water would seep into the earth. And as I thought this thought, time all of a sudden started speeding up and day turned into night. And I was still standing in front of the cube watching the fish, but I see a bright light in the sky and look up. And as I do, I see this light getting bigger and bigger, and I'm thinking, oh wow, it's like a meteor or a shooting star. So I start to get really excited, but as it got closer, I noticed that it was a flaming couch falling from the sky. And I watch it go right by us and crash into the forest, and a big bright white light happened, and that scene faded out. Now the next thing I saw was a perspective looking through a microscope. So it was like I was looking through a microscope like this, and I could see what I thought were cells multiplying. But as I zoomed in the microscope, I recognized that it wasn't cells. They were tiny white socks multiplying. So one sock turned into 2, which turned into 4, which turned into 8, and it kept going and going, and all of a sudden there was all these little tiny squiggling white socks, and it gave me a little bit of anxiety, I have to say. But then the next thing I see once that scene fades out is a glowing Mother Mary or Virgin Mary. So it was the Virgin Mary standing like this, and her eyes are closed, but her face is pointed downward like this. And I just remember watching the ray of sunshine coming out from behind her, and she wasn't moving, she was very statuesque, but I remember just watching her and being in awe of her beauty. And then that scene fades out, and the last thing I see is a giant industrial-sized bag of rice being poured out onto the floor. And I'm watching all this rice come out of this bag, and I heard a voice say, have some rice? Like a question mark? Like, have some rice? I don't know what that means, Pisces. Maybe it relates to you in your life somewhere. I would love to hear about it in the comments, but that was the last thing I saw in my meditation. All right, Pisces, let's get into your reading. Pisces Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Pisces, please. We're going to get an update for the Pisces collective. Pisces, I hope you're doing so good out there. You know, in your May reading, we did get the High Priestess. And funnily enough, when I did the full moon in Capricorn reading, we got the High Priestess again. So that shows me that the Pisces collective that watches this channel is deeply intuitive, very spiritual, very psychic. Yes. So yeah, if you haven't watched the full moon in Capricorn reading yet, I would say go check it out. Yes, but Spirit is showing me, Pisces, how deeply intuitive and psychic you are and how you need to be working on honing those skills. I mean, Pisces sits in the 12th house, which is all about the deep subconscious, mysticism, tarot, divination, spirituality, karma, psychic abilities. So yes, Pisces, you have an innate ability to tap into other dimensions and spiritual realms. It's just like, look, I split the deck. There's the moon. The deep subconscious. Yep, that's Pisces, 100%. All right, Pisces. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Pisces, please. 2 more shuffles. 1 and 2. All right, Spirit, 3 base cards for the sign of Pisces, please. Chiron, Libra, Neptune. Whoa. Pisces, Neptune is your planet. Holy cow. Okay, so the first card out is Chiron. Chiron is an asteroid, and it symbolizes the wounded healer. It's all about our trauma and wounding. If you can see on this card, there is a black wing that's cut in the middle, and inside is this beautiful diamond. It's all about working through our traumas and our wounding to become the healers that we are meant to be, which is definitely you, Pisces. And then the next card out is Libra. Now, Libra sits in the 7th house, which is all about romantic relationships. Libra's symbol is the scales. It's all about balance and harmony. It's a number 2 energy. So this is already showing me that you have a wounding around romantic relationships here. And then, of course, we got Neptune, your planet, the god of the ocean. Represents emotional sensitivity, impressionability, surrender, spiritual vulnerability. In its shadow side, poor boundaries, confusion, escapism, and idealism. But it also represents spiritual vulnerability and the victim-savior complex, as well as fantasy, art, compassion, and self-sacrifice. But Neptune is the god of the ocean, which is all about intuition, right? Because that's the water element. Water symbolizes the emotional self, the intuitive self. So already I can sense here that Spirit is encouraging you to work through this wounding, this relationship wounding that you have by tapping into Neptune, your planet. Taking the rose-colored glasses off and seeing how things actually are. You know, you might have been or are in a unharmonious or dysfunctional relationship. And Spirit is asking you to, with Neptune in retrograde, release the confusion and disillusionment. But let's get a little more into it, huh? Let's get some tarot. Okay, nope, we're getting this deck. Chiron, Libra, and Neptune. Wow. Let's look up Chiron actually really quick. I want to read Chiron for you from the book. Let's see here, the asteroids. Here we go. Let's read Chiron really quick. So Chiron, cycle 50 years, associated with Sagittarius. Chiron, known as the wounded healer, teaches from inner experience. It is the deepest vulnerability and pain. However, Resilience and strength can result from working through the challenges. On the bright side, Chiron is holistic, healing, inner knowledge, and integration. In its shadow side, it represents over-identifying with wounds, insecurity, fragmentation, and lack of awareness. So yeah, definitely wounding around romantic relationships here. Let's read Neptune really quick. Mercury, Mars, Saturn. Here we go, Neptune. Let's read Neptune really quick. Look at how pretty this card is, by the way. Isn't that beautiful? Neptune, planetary cycle, 164 years, rules Pisces and the 12th house. Neptune is the dreamer, the mystic, the poet, the artist, and the musician. It is the planet of visions, psychic experiences, spirituality, and unity. Transcending the ego is its purpose. It is concerned with universal truths and otherworldly energies. On the bright side, it represents inspiration, utopia, muse, transcendence, dreams, spirituality, and art. But in its shadow side, it can represent escapism, addiction, illusion, and confusion. The dreamer, the mystic, the poet, and the artist. Planet of vision, psychic experiences, spirituality, and unity. But yeah, I feel like Spirit is already asking you to look at where you may have been disillusioned with romantic relationships here and turn inward on your wounding around this. All right, Spirit, what else do we have for the sign of Pisces, please? Can you tell us why Chiron, Libra, and Neptune came out? What kind of wounding do they need to work through, Spirit, regarding their romantic relationships? What kind of wounding do they need to work through? One more shuffle. All right, Spirit, can you tell us more about why Chiron, Libra, and Neptune came out for the Pisces reading, please? Tell us more, please. Tell me more. Okay. What else? Ooh. What else, please? What else? Thank you. Okay. So the first card out is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. So this shows me that in the past, you interacted with somebody who you thought was a wish fulfillment. You thought that it was your Nine of Cups. Your dreams come true. Emotional fulfillment. But then things kind of took a turn. And we've got the Two of Wands here. So that's like a fork in the road. And you had a decision that you had to make. And the next card here is the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is all about burden, a heavy burden. But in the reverse, it's an internal burden. There was some kind of experience that you had in the past where you thought it was going to be ultimate emotional fulfillment. But then you ended up in a state of confusion where you had to make some kind of decision here. There was a fork in the road. And this was a heavy burden for you internally, and it still is. right, Spirit. Let's learn more about this Nine of Cups. Yeah, wish fulfillment, huh? Something looked really good on the surface. Something looked like it was going to be the dream come true. And the Nine of Cups came out, like I usually read these cards together where they appear in the reading, and the Nine of Cups came out with Chiron. So something you thought was going to be a wish fulfillment turned out not to be so much, and it's caused a deep wound within you. A deep wound that you haven't fully resolved yet. All right, Spirit, let's get one more shuffle. Okay, Spirit, can you tell me about the Nine of Cups and why it's here, please? Why is the Nine of Cups here with Chiron? Okay. Anything else? Thank you. Okay. I think these two cards came out in Aquarius's reading right before you. That is so interesting. This happens a lot, where I'll do one reading and it bleeds into the next. It's like all the signs on the zodiac wheel are intertwined in some way. And then the Three of Cups. Okay, Pisces. We've got the Judgment in reverse here, which is not heeding the call, meaning there's something that you knew. You had a feeling or intuitively knew that there was something wrong, but you didn't listen to this calling. If you look on the card, I'm going to turn it upright just so you can see the picture. If you look on the card, there's this sheep-like angel in the sky calling these two people, a man and a woman. And the man and the woman have created this androgynous baby that they're lifting up into the sky. It's a resurrection energy. But in the reverse, it's like angels are calling you, your spirit team is trying to communicate with you, but you're not listening. And it shows me that you knew something was wrong. You felt it. You just knew it, but you weren't listening to it. You were questioning your own intuition. You were questioning your own feelings. And with the Seven of Wands in reverse, that's poor boundaries. So your defenses were low. And something happened here because the next card I got is the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups can be a card of celebration, but to me, it feels more like a third-party situation. Like somebody was going behind your back and cheating. That's what it feels like. It's like you knew something was up with this relationship, something you thought was going to be your Nine of Cups. You had a feeling that something was going on, but you chose to ignore it. And your defenses were down, and when they were, a third person came into the picture here. Let's get some clarity around the Three of Cups. Spirit, can you tell me more about the Three of Cups and why it's here? Why is the Three of Cups here, please? Thank you. Whoa, okay, this came out in your May reading. Look, the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, that's juggling. That's juggling, Pisces. Your person was juggling two people behind your back. Well, juggling one person and you. Yeah, look, he's covered in a snake. Snakes they represent deception. I mean, they have a couple of different meanings, but one of their meanings is definitely deception. Yeah, the Two of Pentacles is like How do I keep this afloat? How do I keep this going and working without totally exploding and becoming a big problem? So somebody was definitely juggling you and another person. That's definitely what I'm feeling here. Okay, what happened with this scene here, Spirit? What happened with the Three of Cups? Can you tell me more? Okay. That came out sideways. It's the Seven of Pentacles. So that shows me that something did not come to fruition. It was like you thought that it was going to be your Nine of Cups, but it turned on its side. And something did not come to fruition like you had hoped it would. Okay, tell me about the Two of Wands and why it's here. Look, with the Libra, romantic relationships, decisions, Two of Wands. Okay, Spirit, can you tell me about the Two of Wands and why it's here with Libra, please? What about the Two of Wands? Thank you. Okay, the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Vessels. So the Four of Pentacles is holding on tightly to something. It's holding back. It's like, I want to say a greedy energy, but not really in this reading. It really feels more to me like you were holding tight onto this person, onto this situation. You did not want to let it go, especially because it came out with Libra here. But we've got the Three of Vessels next. And that's like a glimpse into another world, another realm. I would love to read that card for you out of the book. The Vessels are a different suit. It's a suit that's not in the regular tarot. The Vessels represent the ether or spiritual realm. Okay, Three of Vessels. Okay, here we go. The Three of Vessels, element, ether. Two scenes are displayed in this card, shown in two different plans. The background plan shows an underground scene with working miners. Their hard work is the extraction of treasures from the crude ore. In other words, they explore the depths of the earth, the unknown, drawing raw materials from the rock. The miner's work is to find precious minerals, which is a symbolic representation of the valuable treasure we are all seeking. An almost unknown substance, it is, however, needed to complete the great work. The foreground gives us the image of a tree. It resembles the philosophical tree, symbol of the creative imagination that transcends space and time. Its roots grow deep underground. Its roots grow deep in the underground world, where the miners extract the ore, and it symbolizes our subconscious mind. The trunk incarnates the manifested reality and the physical world, but it is also connection to new distant sphere, the celestial world. In this mysterious dimension, the golden branches and leaves thrive unreachable. The golden boughs remind us of the voyage of the hero Aeneas to the Hades. According to legend, he could not pass safely through the underground world without the golden amulet. Aeneas, Aeneas, descends to the bottom of the earth, searching for the knowledge he could not find anywhere else. This mythological scene reveals the connection between the depths of our subconscious mind and the higher levels of our consciousness. Similarly, in our card, the prima materia extracted by the miners is one that fortifies and fertilizes the great tree. A small figure uses a ladder to reach the golden boughs. This symbol of elevation shows a personal development with different steps as an act of individualization. This ladder has 10 steps associated with the crescent evolution along this suit of vessels and represents the many degrees of this personal journey. On the other hand, a ladder also allows us to go back, taking the fruits to the earth plane. This process of going back and forward is many times related to our own ascension. Overall, we can see in this card 2 stages of self-improvement. It works symbiotically or symbolically. It works symbolically as a mirrored image, exemplifying the Hermetic axiom, as above, so below. What we do in the depths of ourselves is reflected in our spiritual realm. So it's like, Pisces, you may have unknowingly manifested the situation through abandonment trauma. You know what I mean? Like, you may have, before this even happened, you may have thought about it, or it may be a recurring theme in your life where you end up being in romantic relationships with people that cheat on you or leave you. And it could be because of your deep subconscious, your fears around rejection. That's what it's feeling like here. And in order to overcome this, you're going to have to go deep inside and work through your abandonment wounds. Your wounds around rejection. Okay. Yeah, we manifest things in our lives all the time through our fears, right? Because that's how spirit works, its goal is always expansion. And fears, our deep subconscious fears, actually provide an opportunity for growth, right? Because when we experience our fears, and it will happen over and over and over again until we learn from them and release the fear, but when we hold those fears so deep within us, they will continue to manifest in our 3D world until we resolve it. All right, Spirit, I want to get some more on the 10 of Wands here and why it came out with Neptune. Why is the 10 of Wands here, please? An internal burden with Neptune. The Queen of Swords. Okay. What else? Okay, that wanted to flip out. Oh my gosh, this card is relentless. I got this in Aquarius's reading. I got it in Sagittarius's reading. It's the 5 of Wands again. Okay, Spirit, what else? Thank you. Okay. So I was asking Spirit, why is the 10 of Wands here with Neptune? Now, Neptune is the deep subconscious. And the 10 of Wands in reverse is an internal burden. It's a heavy internal burden. And we've got the Queen of Swords here. Now, the Queen of Swords is the Queen of Air, which is all about mental thought. And you can see on this card, she's pretty cutthroat, literally. She's got a sword. She's holding a sword right here, and on the ground is a decapitated head. So she's a no BS queen. So you may have gotten really, really upset about something, really angry about something, and we're a little cutthroat about it because the next card we've got is the 5 of Wands, which is all about conflict. It's a battle, a struggle. There's one man beating up another man down here and another man beating up that man. It's like a big battle. There was definitely a conflict, and it feels like multiple people were involved in this conflict. And then the last card we got is the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. The Three of Pentacles in the upright is all about collaboration, working together for a common cause. But in the reverse, it's working alone. So whatever this struggle, this Five of Wands battle was, I mean, you cut off somebody's head, metaphorically speaking. I'm seeing a scene of like yelling and angry and like F you and, you know, very cutthroat. But this has caused you a lot of internal pain. And the Three of Pentacles is working alone. So you being alone is causing you a lot of internal struggle. It's a big burden for you. But Spirit wants to recognize this internal wounding, and I really feel like it has to do with abandonment wounds, abandonment trauma. I mean, that could go all the way back to your childhood, where you felt abandoned in childhood. And the theme could be resurfacing for you, Pisces. Okay, let's get a card out of the Pluto retrograde deck. The Pluto Oracle. Now, if you're new to my channel and you haven't heard me talk about the Pluto retrograde like over and over and over again, I'm going to talk about it again. So right now we've got Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and Pluto is the planet of death and destruction. It's death and rebirth, though. It's a renewal energy, a phoenix rising from the ashes, and it is affecting all of us. It's an internal transformation. It's where we're recognizing, we're facing our fears. Like, now is the time to face our shadows and fears and work through them. Pluto retrograde. Yes, overcoming fears. So beautiful. It's already affected my life in so many different ways, and I can only imagine it's affecting a lot of other people's lives too. I know everybody I've talked to, it's affecting their life. So this deck is all about facing our fears and our shadows. So let's see what Spirit has to say about your fears and shadows, Pisces. All right, Spirit, what else can you tell us about the Pisces that this story resonates with, and their deep subconscious fears and shadows that they need to work through? What can you tell us about the Pisces collective deep wounds and shadows, please? 2 more shuffles. One last shuffle. All right, Spirit. What do we have for the Pisces collective? Frog. We've got the frog. Let's read the frog in the book. Elephant, friend, world, wolf, pigeon, goose, swallow, snake, jellyfish, spider, doe, penguin, devil, alligator. Here we go. Frog, number 75. Okay. I asked Spirit, what is Pisces that this story resonates with? What is their deep fears and subconscious wounds that they need to work through? Let's see what Spirit had to say. We've got the frog. The frog symbolizes purification, cleansing, and grief. Just as the amphibious frog spends its time in the water, the arrival of this card is a call to get in touch with this sacred element. Take a shower or a bath, go to the ocean, visit a lake or a river. What? We've got Neptune, the god of the ocean here. Spirit wants you to get back in touch with your deep emotions, your spirituality, your emotional sensitivity. It says, the arrival of this card is a call to get in touch with this sacred element. Take a shower or a bath, go to the ocean, visit a lake or a river, and allow the clear water to purify your soul. And I had the glass box in my meditation, the clear glass box filled with water. It may also be that you need a good cry, as the frog card also represents the journey of grief. As much as people claim they don't enjoy crying, we often feel better after we do. To cry is to purge, to release all the things we've carried inside of us for a little bit too long. If you have been grappling with the complicated journey of grief, it may be time to let it out and embrace the literal and metaphorical cleansing. However, consider also that sadness isn't the only reason people cry. There are tears of anger, frustration, exhaustion, and even joy. Whatever you're feeling, it needs to express itself through water, one way or another. Yeah, Pisces, you may have not really let yourself, you may have been sitting on the surface in a state of anger and frustration, and you haven't really let yourself go inward and face, how sad this made you. And Spirit is encouraging you to cry it out, to let it out. It represents a journey of grief. Yes, and in my meditation, the little fish was stuck in a glass cube. So it's like you haven't let your emotions out. It's like you're afraid to kill the fish, but the water needs to be let out. The fish needs to be set free. And Pisces, your symbol is the fish. I just realized that. I can't believe I forgot about that. But your symbol is the fish, Pisces. And it was stuck in a glass box. It's like you can see a way out, but it's seemingly impossible. Spirit wants you to let these emotions out, cry it out. Recognize how sad that this made you. It's okay. I feel like you've been sitting in a state of anger for a really long time. Maybe too long. And you have a really hard time working alone with yourself. Like, this is causing you an internal burden. But yeah, you need to cry that out. Let it go. Go to the ocean. Go sit in a lake or some kind of body of water, a river, by yourself, and maybe just cry. That sounds like very relieving. It sounds like a release. All right, Spirit, let's get a few more cards. Nope, I'm being told to pick up the red deck. Yeah, with the Three of Vessels here, it's all about going to the underworld to get the Philosopher's Stone, to get the prima materia, right? That's how you become enlightened. You have to go deep into the underworld. You have to face your fears and walk through hell in order to get to the stone. All right, Spirit, what else do we have for Pisces, please? What else can we tell the Pisces? Two more shuffles. 1 and 2. All right, Spirit, what else do we have for Pisces? Any more words of advice or wisdom for the Pisces collective that this story belongs to, please? What else for the Pisces collective? Any more words of advice or wisdom for the Pisces collective, please? Okay, wow. No way. Look. Nature spirits. I mean, everything in nature has a spirit. And we've got spiritual cleansing, nature spirit, and time. I really feel like this is what Spirit is telling you. Spirit is saying you need to cry all of this out. Get out into nature and go to a body of water, whether that's a lake, a river, the ocean. Spirit is saying to spiritually cleanse yourself, go alone to a body of water, somewhere out in nature, and release this energy. Release this pent-up anger that you've been carrying around with you with the Ten of Wands in reverse. And then give yourself some time to release it. I just got a flash of my meditation where I saw the bag of rice being poured out. It's kind of like the grains of sand in an hourglass. Yeah, you need to give yourself a little bit of love and compassion and time to really work through this. But getting out into nature, into a body of water, I mean, that's your element, Pisces. Spirit is saying cleanse yourself through water. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, if you can't get out to a river, an ocean, or another body of water, like set up a bath, right? It said in the Pluto book, make a beautiful bath and pour some like essential oils in it, like rose. And, you know, roses are all about love and compassion, passion, right? Like draw yourself a beautiful bath with candles and incense and chocolate and just let yourself feel the feels. You know, magic is all about our intention. Spiritual cleansing is all about our intention. I mean, we can use the elements as tools, but it's really what's going on in here that's going to make the spiritual cleansing happen. If you're in resistance in here, it's not going to work no matter what you do. All right, Spirit, let's get one final card for the Pisces collective. Okay, that wanted to flip. We've got the bear, yeah. Okay, Spirit, one final card. Yeah, I saw the bear try to flip out. I feel like you've been trying to be strong through this to the point of where you're ignoring the feelings. And it really does feel like you've been facing the feelings through anger. Okay, one more shuffle. All right, Spirit, any last words of advice or wisdom for the Pisces collective that this story belongs to, please? Any final words of advice or wisdom, please? Any final words of advice or wisdom? Any final words of advice or wisdom? Any final words of advice or wisdom? Thank you. No way. This card came out in Aquarius's reading. It was the last card in Aquarius's reading too. That's crazy. The ring. I mean, the ring it can symbolize a few different things to me. The ring can symbolize marriage or a promise or commitment. But the ring also symbolizes the world to me, because the world is a circle. And the world is the last card in the major arcana in tarot. It's an ending. Yeah, Spirit wants you to work through releasing this commitment. There was a commitment, or what you thought was a commitment in the past, that's holding you back from progressing on your spiritual journey and attracting what you really want into your life. Spirit clearly is asking you to figure out a way to release this and surrender to the experience. You got this, Pisces. All right, Pisces, thank you so much for tuning in today. It was an absolute pleasure to read for you. I hope you have a beautiful month of July, and I cannot wait to see you again in the next reading. Namaste.